to Book Cave with me, Jenny. So today I'm doing another round of continuing series, and I have one audiobook and 2 physical books. So the audiobook is going to be The Cat Who Saved the Library, and this is the sequel to The Cat Who Saved Books, and this is translated from the Japanese, and it follows a tabby cat, if I remember correctly, who saves books. And I thought it was a cute book, and so I was definitely excited to continue it when I saw it would have a sequel. Then I'm reading book 3 of Rubberly Ranch, Lost and Lassoed, which is Teddy and Gus's story. And then I have the final book in Mead Mishaps, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. So I'm going to start with Lost and Lassoed, and I will also be listening to The Cat Who Saved the Library as my audiobook while I am physically reading this when I physically read. So yeah, that is my plan, and I will update you when I have a little bit more to say about either of these books. So I've listened to about a quarter of The Cat Who Saved the Library, and this one follows Tiger the Tabby again, but this time it follows an 8th grade girl, Naname, instead of the senior boy that it followed in the first book. So this is obviously again a book that is about books for book lovers, and I am enjoying how this one is more about like the memories tied to books and finding solace in books, and that books should be available to everybody. And while the first book did have that as well, I feel like that one was more about reading habits, you know, in the fact that like one of the people they had to defeat was somebody who never reread books. And yeah, like, I don't know, I just feel like I like this one a lot better. I also feel like Naname starts out with being more knowing who she is, having more of like a strong identity, I should say, and being sure of herself, which I am really enjoying. And I do like the fact that these are kind of tied together by the fact that they are also both dealing with grief, however in different ways, obviously. And I absolutely love Tiger the Tabby. He just a very fun character, very sarcastic character, and I love the voice that Tiger has as well. I just feel like it's a very kind of fitting voice for him. So yeah, I am definitely enjoying this, definitely enjoying the audiobook of it. The Cat Who Saved the Library is now finished. I really enjoyed this. However, I feel like it's one I can't say a whole lot about because it'll kind of spoil it. But yeah, it has a very similar plot to the first book about, you know, saving books and what books do for humanity and things like that. This one, however, focuses on just one thing, one villain, instead of having multiple ones like the first one. And I did enjoy that we do get to see Rintaro again. He showed up just right after I did my first update. So I did enjoy kind of getting to catch up with him, and we see how long it's been between the books. And we finally do get to learn as well who exactly Tiger is. And yeah, I kind of really love that cat. Just has a very funny personality, and I love its dry sarcasm. And yeah, I definitely do recommend this if you like books, if you like cats, if you like adventure stories. I do feel like this one had much more of an adventure than the first one, and the stakes felt a little higher as well. So yeah, this is definitely enjoyable, and I am looking forward to see if there are any more coming out. So I am through 60 pages of Lost and Lassoed, and so far this has given us a pretty good idea of Gus and Teddy, what they're kind of going through at this point in their life, how they both react to it, and how they react to each other. And I do have to say, the end of the first chapter was pretty funny. They wind up locked in a closet together. And yeah, that was obviously pretty funny. We get to kind of see, again, with that, even more of how they react to each other. And we do get a hint that there is a reason for it. Something's happened in the past. And at least that's why Teddy doesn't like Gus all that much. But we don't know what it is yet. So I'm kind of interested to see what that is. And then I can kind of see where Gus is coming from. Obviously, if you've read the other books, you know that Teddy is Emmy's best friend, and Emmy is the youngest of the three, and Gus is the oldest. And so he kind of sees Teddy as a bad influence because, they would go out and party and stuff. And he saw it as being all Teddy's fault. Teddy talked her into it and stuff like that. So yeah, just really fun to see all the characters in this book and see the dynamics, and especially, this being the third book, we have a lot of side characters like Mr. Ryder, the dad, and Teddy's dad, and all of that. So we get to see even more of them interacting as a family, and how they welcome people in and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously very fun, very kind of cowboy, small town vibes. And that's one thing I've definitely appreciated about this series, is I feel like it's definitely got those vibes because it is on a ranch, and you do get a lot about riding around to check on things and why that's important, but it also feels very unobtrusive. And it's just kind of oh yeah, I had to go check the water because the rainwater barrels, because we rely on that for our cattle to drink from. And it's just kind of a short sentence, but I just feel like it adds a lot to the vibes. But yeah, I'm going to read more of this, and I will update you when I have more to say. So I'm about halfway through Lost and Lassoed, and we now finally get to see what happened with Gus and Teddy 7 years ago. And it was basically what I was expecting. Maybe not quite as much as I was expecting, or it was maybe a little less than I was expecting. But either way, that's okay. We now know what exactly happened in the past. And then I am absolutely loving the family dynamic and just how much Riley is connecting to Teddy, and the same way that Gus likes the same way that Gus likes how Teddy is very thoughtful about the activities she does with Riley. I really like that as well. And I love the fact that she's very nature oriented and artistic, and is able to show Riley that side and do these cool projects. And like right now they have kind of a wilderness scavenger hunt, if you will, going on. And I just really like that and think that that is something that's super cool and really fits like the vibes of Rebel Blue. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying this, and definitely glad that I read book 2 first, because book 1, which I spoke about in another video, I just felt like I might have missed out on these other books because of the amount of spice that that book had. And I do feel like this one definitely has less. You know, we're halfway through, and some things have happened, but it's nothing extremely physical. It's just been like a touch on the arm and stuff like that. And you really get to see like Gus caring for everybody, and just like also how much he takes on responsibility wise. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying this and look forward to finishing it. So I made to page 232 of Lost and Lassoed. So I'm almost done. This is only 300 pages, but it's still just really sweet. And I love that we're really getting to see the emotional depth and just how much Gus cares for Teddy, like in reality, and all like the little things he does. You know, since she's a nanny for him, she is staying over, and so when she wakes up in the morning and makes her coffee, she has a favorite coffee mug. He makes coffee for her and remembers that that is her favorite mug, or at least like the mug that she always uses. And it's like, that's super sweet. And then when she has things happen, he's there for her. And like, they may all be small things, but they just feel very, very real. And the same way when they have the moments with his daughter Riley. And yeah, it's just overall a very sweet book. And it's definitely kind of like a slow burn. I do feel like they all have been. Like, they might be attracted to each other quickly, but they don't act on it quickly necessarily. Like, usually, you know, the most they will do is kiss, and then they get the emotional attachment, and you get to see, like, a lot of that. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying this, and I'm really going to like love to see how this resolves, and you know, how they end up being together. And yeah, so I finished Lost and Lassoed, and I really enjoyed it. And I actually really enjoyed the ending and how it sets up the next book. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend this series. And I'm excited to be going on to my next book in this video, which will be That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. So I will report back on that when I read a little more of it. I'm on chapter 16 of That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human, which is about 2/3 of the way through. And this has been pretty fun, just like all the other ones. It definitely doesn't take itself seriously, but I feel like it's got, you know, a lot of situational humor. The characters are very fun. And I really do like in this one that while Fallon and Felix were both also very much devoted, I do feel like they were both also maybe a little more over the top. I feel like Dante, when he is over the top, he understands he is and is doing it for humor. And so I did find that much very funny. And I am surprised that something all the readers know hasn't been figured out by either of the characters yet. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to finishing the last 100 or so pages of this and seeing how everything works out. And I did find out this author also has another series now, and I will be checking that out eventually. I'm now done with That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. I will say, even though this is the only one of the series I did not read in one sitting, for one, it is also the longest, although not by much. It is 322 pages, and the other two are just under 280, so really not that much longer. But I also picked it up on a day that I had to work the next day, so, you know, that took me a little longer. I did, however, like Dante, I think, the best out of him, Felix, and Fallon. I guess really just because, like, he seemed to be the most chill, even though he did still have that you touch her, you die. His was more if you hurt her. And yeah, I also enjoyed the traveling in this one. I know we did get traveling in the first one, but I felt like the traveling in this, we got to see a lot more of the world. And Cherry was also kind of like the most free-spirited of our three main women characters. And I just felt like she was extremely funny, even though they all were kind of funny in their own way. And I just thought, like, her and shoot, I keep forgetting his name, and I literally just said it. Dante. So Cherry and Dante, I just thought were very cute together and all. This was, like the other ones, more on the spicy side, but I felt like there were less scenes, and I felt like they were not as quick as they were in the other ones. And I also really liked the full circleness of this, which if you've read the first one, you will know who Cherry is. But yeah, overall it was really fun, and like I said, probably my favorite out of the three in this series. So yeah, that is everything I have for this video. And this time I didn't finish all of the series, but I did make some good progress in them, and obviously I did finish this one. So yeah, I had fun. I hope you had fun as well. And as always, if you did, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button so you'll be notified every time I have a video. And of course, I will have my Discord and everything linked at the end. And I hope to see you next time in the book cave.